I watch a lot of liberal commentators right now because you're the only people I feel I can get somewhat of the truth from. I can't listen to Crowder or Glenn Beck, the voices I've trusted for so long. I have no trust in them anymore. It's part of the problem I'm facing as well with my health, my mental health, is that everything that I believed in, everything I thought to be true and right, is wrong, has been wrong. One thing that bothers me is the way liberal commentators are treating people like me, ex-MAGA people. You're treating me like the enemy. Me, I would be open arms to you. Come in. Because I can't imagine how that hurts to trust and believe in somebody who has betrayed your trust. I'm finding it hard with liberal commentators still somehow sided, right? They're still picking and choosing sides. And it makes no sense to me because in my head, I'm going, you're all wrong. They're all bad. Every single one of them. Why are you still protecting the Democrats? Have you not seen the Epstein files, or are you just selectively going through it as well? But I'm not going to go there. I want to talk about me and people like me. I want to tell you why. You say, we've been warning you for years, right? This is what you've been saying to us. Well, that's great. That's good. But we didn't trust you because you've been untrustworthy. Let's just get that straight. Liberal media, liberal commentators, you've been untrustworthy. You still are. I'm still watching some of you and going, that's a lie. You're only telling part of the truth, or you're over exaggerating something that's not the real for clickbait. And if you want to keep doing that, that's on you. But you're causing more problems. You're not creating what you think you're creating. And you're getting other people riled up at people like me, who you think and perceive is the enemy. I'm caught in limbo. I'm between the liberal and the right. I have no place to go. MAGA used to be the Tea Party movement during Obama. Trump took advantage of that. It's why he started the whole Obama birth certificate bullshit, right? Now, back then, I hated Trump. Like, literally hated him. I had a blog where I was disgusted with him. I really wanted Ben Carson. Thought he was the sweetest, most wonderful man in the world, and I felt like our world needed someone soft-spoken and good. The world's never going to be ready for someone like a Ben Carson, ever. I wasn't happy that he was the nominee. I reluctantly voted because I'm a voter. It's what I do. I don't not vote. In fact, I have the highest scoring in voting in my area, in my district, in my city. I am in the top 1% for voting. So there isn't a choice for me to not vote. And I don't vote based on someone I like. I vote based on their values. Do they align with mine? Hated John McCain. Oh, Mitt Romney. Oh, my goodness. Whew. And then we get Donald Trump. And at the time, compared to what we were up against, it seemed logical. I think people just started seeing it as a logical explanation. Bombastic. It's about time somebody stood up to the media. It's about time that we started calling out all these prejudices against the conservative people. the church started getting involved. Once the church starts getting involved as a Christian, you're done. I need you to fully understand this because you people don't get it. You are sitting here scratching your head going, we told them. We told them what Trump is like. You didn't tell us. No, you didn't. You came at us and attacked him. You did not tell anyone anything. Do you know that yesterday was the first time I ever heard the grab him by the you-know-what audio? I had never, ever heard that audio until yesterday for the first time in what? A decade? More than a decade that supposedly came out against him, and I never heard it before. That's because it was never played for me on our conservative podcasters. No. No, we heard about it, but we were heard about how it was all a lie and taken out of context or whatever. Okay. At the time, you're listening to it as a Christian and you're hearing the Christian prophets and the Christian leaders, prominent leaders like Franklin Graham. Okay. And then you get Israel in the mix and it's over. It's just, there was no hope for the Christian MAGA movement. I need you to understand that. I know you don't get it. You think it's brainwashing. You're probably right, in a sense. But it was misinformation on all sides, and that's the problem we're facing. There is no news anymore. It's your opinion versus what's really going on. And you have 7 million trillion podcasters out there that want to tell their opinion about it. And we're stuck here, just the normal average American trying to make sense of it all. It's not easy when you're screaming at us about what pieces of shit we are, how maggots we are. All right? Why would we listen to that? In fact, the minute you start calling MAGA some name on your little liberal commentator show, I'm out. I'm done. You can make all the sense in the fucking world, but if you start insulting me and blaming me for this, then I'm done with you. You're the problem, not our president. You are. Because you keep attacking the American people who had a choice between a box of rocks and an orange man that seemed to make a lot of sense. No more wars. That's what we wanted. Peace. That's what we voted for. I also voted to save children from being mutilated by doctors who want to change their sex. And I also care a lot about the unborn. I know you don't, but I do. I was not going to vote for anybody who would support those things. Little did I know that was exactly what I was voting for. Now, I had a feeling something was going on in Butler, Pennsylvania. You can watch my video on that later. Because I have done a lot of prayer, soul searching, and received a lot of spiritual insight on that matter. And I received it before the election and voted still. Because I'm a voter. I'm a fucking voter. It's my right. It's my privilege. It's my duty. And I tried to warn MAGA. MAGA did not want to hear it. I tried to warn them about Erica Kirk. They did not want to hear it. Christians don't want to hear anything that goes against anything Christianese. They don't. They like their little bubble that they live in because that was me. They like it there. It's security. It's comfort. It gets them through the day. Yeah, they don't really think for themselves. They think they do, but they don't. But one thing I loved about MAGA every time I went to a rally is how friendly and loving they were to everyone, especially liberals who were coming to just experience it or see what the hype was all about or to see if it was real. And we embraced them and loved them and gave them love. For me, it was genuine. Maybe from everyone else it wasn't, but for me, it was. I genuinely love people. I genuinely want to know what makes people tick. It doesn't matter if you disagree with me. It doesn't. Never has. I'll love you either way. As long as you don't hurt me in the process. The problem is that every liberal I have invited into my life has betrayed me. It's okay to not agree on everything. It's not okay to start insulting us because you don't like what the world looks like right now. Because that's not our fault. We didn't vote for this. And maybe there is some crazy lunatic still on there on social media going, I voted for this. Oh, I've seen those. I have. I try to stay away from social media now, not even on anything except for YouTube. I have no desire to be around the most brutal, horrible, rotten, evil, vile people that call themselves Christians anymore. I cannot. And for me, that's a hard pill to swallow because I don't know where I belong anymore. It's one of the reasons I'm really sick. I feel displaced. And those of you on the left, don't make me feel welcome. You don't make me feel loved. You don't make me feel anything but shame and guilt and hate. The very things you claim you're not. And my side hates me. Friendships of 30 years, gone forever. Because of Trump. So I have nowhere to go. I don't have a home. Because I don't know what I believe anymore. That's just the truth. I don't know where my faith stands anymore. I don't know where my political feet are planted anymore. And I trust no one. My body rejects food because it understands it's not real and that it's poison. The air feels suffocating because they're poisoning our air as well. No one in our government can be trusted. The problem I see right now is there are many disillusioned Americans who are watching the Iranian propaganda and cheering it on. I'm one of them, and that's sad. It's horrible to sit here and root against your own country and wish for them to fail, but I do. I do not wish for your sons or daughters to fail, please. I'm one of those people who will walk up to your children and thank them for their service. I love our service members. And I hate that they have been put in this horrifying situation. I hate it. I don't want them there. I don't want anyone to be fighting this. But they are. And I don't want Trump to win. I'm sorry. I don't. He does not deserve to win. He's a bully. And I've been bullied my whole fucking life. From day fucking one, if not before. I've been bullied. I'm still bullied by liberals. MAGA is flailing. We hate Trump Probably more than you. And you might think, oh, no, nobody hates Trump more than I do. No. Nobody hates Trump more than me. Because I lost everything for him. I believed in him. And I believed in the church that supported him. And now I look at it and I think what a disgusting disgrace these people are. Literally makes me want to vomit when I think of Paula White and Franklin Graham, you pieces of shit. People like you that keep putting Trump on some Jesus mantle right next to him. Sometimes you'll knock fucking Jesus over to put Trump up there, won't you? It suits your plan, your narrative, your little need for the prophecies to come true, so you just force them. Okay, that's not going to go well, but you put everyone's life at risk for your I speak in tongues. That's not tongues. That's fucking babble. You're in Babylon. Babble. You babble. You need a fucking pacifier. You need to shut the fuck up. Please. Yes, we are just as disgusted as you are. So stop treating us like the enemy and start coming together as Americans who want to fight the same enemy. If you want us to come with you and join your movement against Trump, then don't act like we're the problem. You're the problem. You are. I just voted for him. You just kept escalating things when people needed you the most. You dropped the ball there. You're walking women in men's clothes because everything you eat feminizes you. You're just little girls in big boy pants. Big deal. There are no men in the world anymore. There are no women in the world anymore. We don't need them, right? That's what you said. That's what you liberals said. That we don't need men and women roles anymore. Well, now we're all fucking stupid and we don't know what to do with ourselves. So, what? Should we all jump off a fucking cliff like lemmings? Is that what we should do? Because at this point, I'm ready to jump. I am fucking ready. Because none of you make any sense. I'm ready to go with the rest who are fed up with all of you and just jump off the fucking cliff and be, yeah, I'm done. This is just dumb. Because both sides are just, I don't have anybody on here who says, wow, you make a lot of sense. But when I go onto another site, I see the same person saying the same fucking thing I just said yesterday, and they're saying it today, and everyone's going, bravo, that is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh, wow, you're so smart. She just took it from me. I know my voice is important. If it wasn't, people wouldn't be repeating the same thing I'm saying 2 days after I say it. You just don't like the voice it's coming from. You don't like the face it's coming from. You don't like the closet it's coming from. If I don't have a podcast and the microphone in front of my face, I'm just not important. Looking at a closet full of clothes I can't wear anymore and thinking about a world I don't belong in anymore. Thinking about how every belief I've ever had in my life has been a big lie. I used to think the 80s were this safe place, right? And then I watched Stranger Things. And everybody was talking about it at first. And I just thought that was the stupidest show, right? This 80s show with monsters in it. I thought that's so stupid. Like, that's not what the 80s were about, man. Like, that was good times in the 80s. No. Stranger Things was a true story about what was really going on in the 80s with MK Ultra, which started under Reagan, which, you know, I thought Reagan was a good guy too. Oh boy. You can really throw you for a loop. Everything you thought you knew, everything you were so sure of, you have no certainty of anymore. The only thing you're certain of is that the night comes every night, that it comes like clockwork, and a new day starts with a new crisis, with a new emergency, with a new truth social event. Every 5 minutes of the day. Praise Allah. Glory to God. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards. Like, Happy Easter. Oh no, we didn't get that. I'm sorry. I forgot. We did not get Happy Easter. We're going to blow up Iran and make sure that the people never have anything again. We're in a time right now where we need each other. We don't need to be fighting each other, and we don't need to be pointing fingers at each other. But for those of us who are coming out of it, stop treating us like shit. Stop treating us like the enemy. Because quite frankly, you've been the enemy for decades. You want to be on the winning side, then you need to start allowing MAGA to have a voice, and you need to allow them some grace. You need to show them some grace. I know you don't like that because you're liberals and you don't know what grace and mercy means, except for criminals and people that kill their babies. I don't know, but like you show mercy to them. Maybe try showing a little mercy to those of us who are not doing so well right now. But I can see that's not the message you want to convey. And then those will be the ways that we continue to stay separated. We don't have to agree on everything. What we have to agree on is the enemy. And I think that we are all there. One last thing, because this is important. January 6th, you need to shut it down. That you keep calling it an insurrection just makes matters worse for you. I don't think you understand that. It was not an insurrection. It was set up by the FBI and your government, not Trump's. That one I stand firmly by. Firmly. Because I have watched on the other side the evidence coming against everyone who had a little plan in that plotted day. The problem is that as you consider it an insurrection and keep calling it that, what you're doing is you're telling the government it's okay for anybody who wants to dissent against it will be jailed. So you think it was okay for Trump people to go to prison for that day. But my town that was burned down to the ground back in 2020, no one has seen a day of jail for that. No one has seen a jail cell or a federal prison cell for those riots in 2020. But people who stood on the Capitol grounds went to federal prison without a fair trial. And you applaud it. You need to stop it. You need to stop applauding that. You need to stop calling it an insurrection because it never was. And you know it. But you want to go against MAGA. You want to go against Trump. It's time you started seeing what was going on the other side too. Trump is a piece of shit. But Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democrat Party who set up January 6th, they're the real problem. They made a message out of us. You don't revolt. Your constitutional rights will put you in a federal prison forever, and you'll never get a fair trial. That's what you supported. That's what you support every time you call it an insurrection. It was never an insurrection, and you know it. You don't know what an insurrection looks like. An insurrection is Bastille Days. It's storming the Capitol and taking everyone out and then beheading people. That's an insurrection, people. People walking and taking pictures and snapping the selfies in someone's chair is not a fucking insurrection. It's a guided fucking tour into the people's house. See, it's our house, not theirs. We had every right to be in there, and we have every right to kick them out. But you keep telling everyone we don't have a right to do that. Republicans, conservatives, we don't protest. We just don't. And we definitely don't insurrect. We just don't. Now, you might keep thinking that's what we do. It's not. It's laughable because we're really quite pathetic in that way. The insurrectionists that day were actors, paid actors, on all sorts of levels. And I really wish you would do your due diligence on that so that maybe we can finally revolt and get Trump out of office. But you made it impossible for us to do that by calling it an insurrection and continuing to call it an insurrection. You take away our rights to revolt. It's our God-given right. It's in the Constitution to overturn our government. Everybody wants a click. Everyone wants the big bucks on YouTube. So in order to do that, you need to lie, which I don't do, which is why I don't have any views, because I don't clickbait and I don't play games. So that's my last thing I wanted to talk about, because that's been driving me crazy too. You guys have got to stop talking about J6 like it was some horrific day in history. It was nothing. It was literally nothing, and the only person who died was an innocent woman shot by Capitol Police who never was prosecuted for that. She didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. And he shot her in the face. Yeah, but she deserved it, right? Because what? She was MAGA? Yeah. See, this is a problem I have. If you keep thinking MAGA, left, right, liberal, Republican, Democrat, this is never going to end. But until you can start putting aside your own prejudices and you can say, you know what, my side is just as evil and just as corrupt, then, just then, we might get somewhere.